welcome to 1 Minute Wins with Dr. Dana Martin, the podcast where intentional growth meets practical leadership. One quote, one lesson, one action to help you lead yourself and others better. Let's jump in. Welcome back to 1 Minute Wins. I am Dr. Dana Martin, and episode 30 correlates directly with 1 Minute Win number 30, Small Steps, Big Wins. Go get that book on Amazon, 1 Minute Wins Volume 1, and turn the pages to where we're at in the podcast. That's right. There's going to be one podcast for every 1 minute win. Today's episode centers around something very simple but powerful. The small, consistent steps that create big, lasting wins. Robert Collier once said, "Success is the sum of all small efforts repeated day in and day out." That's not just a catchy quote. It's a reminder that greatness is not built overnight. It's built over time through discipline, through consistency, and through intentional action. We live in a culture that's obsessed with fast results and instant success, overnight fame, going viral. But the real success is slow, deliberate, and compounding. Think about it like this. One small step may not look like much from the outside, but repeated over time, think of the distance that it covers. It becomes the mile run. It becomes the stairway to achievement. Whether it's improving your health, your leadership, relationships, or even your mindset, success happens in layers. Each day, you take a small intentional step, you strengthen your foundation. There's an old story of a master bricklayer. Someone had asked him how he built such beautiful, sturdy walls that lasted generation after generation. And he smiled and he said, "I don't build walls. I lay one brick perfectly every single day." Wow. I mean, that's the mindset we need to adopt. Stop worrying about the wall. Certainly, that's the goal. That's the North Star. But focus on the brick that's right in front of you. Leaders don't wake up and magically they're influential. That's earned through consistency. And authors don't finish books overnight. They write one page at a time. Or, in my case, 3 chapters at a time, and then it sits and I start a new project. Yes, I should take some of my own advice here, right? Athletes, let's not forget about athletes. They don't dominate on day one. They have to train, and they have to train a little harder every single day. Small steps, big wins. A study published in the British Journal of Health Psychology found that people who made tiny, specific habits and repeated them daily were over 80% more likely to maintain their behavior change long-term than those who went big and burned out. 80% more likely with repeated, daily, consistent, intentional habits. Why? Because small wins create momentum. Each one builds confidence, builds progress, and then proof that change is possible. Some of you may be listening don't know that I have a newsletter, and in the newsletter number 15 for this week that this podcast is being recorded, I talk about Jamie Kern Lima's book, Worthy, and talk about the proof. When the lies inside tell you, no, you can't do it. Take a small step forward and prove you can. James Clear calls this atomic habits. Tiny behaviors that compound into remarkable results. One small action repeated daily becomes unstoppable over time. John Maxwell put it this way. He says, "Small disciplines repeated with consistency every day lead to great achievements gained slowly over time." The world celebrates the finish line, but true leaders celebrate the process. Every day you show up, you invest in your future self. Every repetition, every conversation, every intentional choice, it all adds up. I once coached a young manager who struggled with team communication, and she said, "I'm just not a natural communicator." I get that. But I asked her, I said, just do one thing each morning, intentionally greet your team and ask one genuine question. Now, it felt very forced in the beginning, but by week 3, it became natural. And within several months, her team's morale, trust, had improved dramatically. And ultimately, she gained influence. And she didn't overhaul her leadership style or do anything like that crazy overnight. All she did was take one small, consistent action, genuine action, that changed the culture. That's the magic of compounding effort, which we talk about quite a bit. Practical application. I know I usually do 3 and sometimes I do 4, but in this case it takes 5. So here's how to apply this. Number 1, pick one habit, right? Choose something that aligns with your biggest goal. Number 2, make it measurable. Instead of I'm going to read more, for instance, say I will read 10 pages. Stay consistent and do it on the days you don't even feel like it. This is fun. Track it. Success leaves a trail of evidence. So watch the streak. And number 5, celebrate progress. Reward consistency, not just outcomes. The new peppermint or the returning peppermint shake is at Chick-fil-A, and I rewarded myself by going 3 weeks straight to the gym by getting a peppermint shake. But the person who wins isn't the one who works hardest for a week. It's the one who stays faithful to the process. And here's an example of a simple process. Pick one habit, make it measurable, stay consistent, track it, and celebrate those wins. So what habit matters most for your goals? What small step can you take today that will still matter 1 year from now? Consistency creates credibility, and effort creates excellence. Commit to that habit today and repeat it tomorrow, because success doesn't come from what you do occasionally. It comes from what you do consistently. And you don't need massive leaps to change your life or your leadership. You just need daily movement to create momentum, and that momentum, the small hinges on the sides of the doors, swing the big doors wide open. Every 1 minute win adds up to something more remarkable over time. I want to thank you for joining me for another 1 minute win. I am Dr. Dana Martin, and if you want to keep growing, visit DMILM.com and grab the 1 minute win book on Amazon. That's designed to help you build success one intentional minute at a time. And always remember, be the example.